Part two here, we're going to be talking about the environmental ecosystem impacts of polyester versus natural fiber clothing. One of the key points that you were just telling me is about the microplastics involved with polyester and how they're made and how they end up being dispersed. It was pretty wild.
There are like two types of polyester. There's regular polyester, I think it's called virgin polyester, and then recycled polyester. And when it comes to sustainability, I think a lot of the big brands you see kind of boast sustainability, and they're saying, hey, we use recycled polyester, other recycled materials to make our clothes, and people kind of see that as like something good for the earth. But in reality, they're basically taking like plastic waste, like this, I don't even know what this is, like holding fruit or something. Like they take fish nets, plastic bottles, and basically what they do is they shred it up, heat it up, add chemicals, and spin it into a yarn. And that's like what you make, how polyester is made. The issue with that is all these clothes, because they're treated so much, they become super susceptible to releasing even more microplastics than what like a virgin polyester releases. And ultimately, I think we all know that plastic's not good for the earth. Like it harms wildlife, it's bad for the soil, it's bad for us to ingest it. And when you shred it, and when it releases its little tiny particles of microplastics, it becomes pretty much impossible to clean up. And it doesn't biodegrade over time, so it just stays in the environment forever. You see it in the oceans, like in our ice, the soil, the air. And so it's a pretty big problem, and that's kind of one thing I wanted to make clear with Wayve is like, it's a concept I like to think of like true sustainability, where, like I said, a lot of brands use sustainability as like a greenwashing term where you say you're sustainable because you're using these materials, but in reality it's just really cheap and available to use, and kind of gives people an excuse to keep producing single-use plastic materials. And ultimately that's the only way we're going to stop all this plastic waste and pollution. So yeah, I mean, like we were talking about different stats, and the textile industry contributes to 35% of total microplastic pollution in the world. So it's a huge problem, and there are just so many new clothes every year that are made, and you see these companies that just like ship out millions and billions of new clothes, and they're all like plastic. So
yeah, and if you're wondering how apparel ends up contributing to microplastic pollution, we looked it up. 92 million tons of apparel is added to the landfill every year, so it's just thrown away. A lot of that made of what you just displayed there, recycled polyester or just virgin polyester, so fresh plastic, and it just breaks down into smaller pieces of plastic, and a lot of that could be in the ocean or on the land. It's going to be contributing to microplastic pollution. And on the other hand, we have 80 billion new articles of clothing purchased every year, so that's about 10 articles of clothing for every human on this planet. Most of that is unfortunately currently made of plastic, petroleum-based polyester, cheap Chinese toxic trash. So we have a better solution, and that is natural fiber clothing like cotton, organic cotton, merino wool, just to give a few examples, and some of those fabrics you work with to create your clothes.
Totally, yeah. And I think they perform, like a lot of people think that they need to wear these synthetic fibers that are marketed as like dry fit or, you know, like sweat wicking. The reality is, like, these fabrics that are made of polyester, spandex, or nylon, whatever it is, they're all different variations of plastic. They're actually by nature very like sweat absorbing. They absorb sweat and like trap it, and so your clothes end up stinking. And if they're not naturally either like water repellent, like if you want to get those clothes, like those raincoats you see that are marketed as water repellent, they basically get treated with a bunch of different chemicals that stay on the clothes after you buy it, when you wash them. And so it's like, it's not actually a performance fabric in any way. It's just a reason to use like cheap materials that are available, and then upsell it and just use marketing to, like, you know, just sell these clothes at a premium. But I think, you know, like you've been wearing these clothes, and there are a lot of natural fibers out there that can do exactly what these synthetic fibers are marketed to do. So like that's why we use merino wool for the liner. It's naturally stretchy, super temperature regulating, moisture wicking. Like I can wear my shorts 2 to 3 times before I have to wash them. Just let them dry, and it doesn't smell or anything. And yeah, I mean it's great. Like I can probably wear 2 to 3 pairs and just cycle through them each week, and that's all I need. Whereas if I have a polyester short, I can wear it once and then I have to wash it, and then like we talked about, all the microplastics are released, whatever, and you have to have like 7 pairs or something. So that's another reason why natural fibers are better, I think.
It's a great point. I agree 100%. There's a link below to check out Wayve, code case to save a little cash. Have fewer clothes, higher quality clothes. Natural fiber is the best way to clothe your body. Check out Wayve. Yahli, thank you.